Hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ibini Ebikoya, also known as IB Codes. I'm a software engineer and a lover of God. If you are new to this channel, this is a channel where we talk about technology, lifestyle, and faith. So if that sounds interesting to you, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the videos, and also drop your comments. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. So I'm sorry I didn't drop any new videos this past 2 weeks. Work has been so hectic. I have been so swamped with work. There's this new thing I'm working on at work and it's quite complex. So I have kind of like focused all my energy on trying to complete that particular project. So I'm back here now and I'm going to try my best to continue dropping a video every week for you guys. So before we get into what this video is actually about, I have an update I want to share with you guys, and don't worry, it's not something so serious. I got an iPad. Yay! So I just set it up today. The main reason why I got this iPad is because I record with my phone, and I like to wire up my laptop with a monitor. And at times, I just like to have the highlights of what I'm going to be talking about in each videos, like right in front of me. But because my phone is what I'm using to record, and my system is connected to the to the monitor. I can't use either of them, so I decided to get an iPad. So obviously, there are other reasons why I decided to get an iPad, not just so that I can be seeing the highlights of my content, but that's what I'm sharing in this video. So manage that. So in this particular video, I want to share my experience as a software engineer or as a tech guy, transitioning from, being a single tech guy to being a married tech guy or a married software engineer. So I'm going to be sharing some of the challenges I faced, some of the things I had to change about myself. And the whole idea of this is just to give you guys a sneak peek of what I've been through. And if there is anyone that is also looking to make the same decision, right, you know exactly what you're getting into and how best to prepare for it. So let's get right into it. All right. So what I've done is split what I'll be talking about or what I'll be sharing into two main sections. The first one is I'll be talking about the changes I've had to make, and then the second part I'll be talking about the challenges I have faced. Right. And then maybe as a last section, I'll maybe drop a few tips. I don't think I have the moral ground or I have enough experience to give anyone tips, but I'll just drop one or two. If you feel it works, please use them. And if it doesn't, no problem. So let's get right into that. All right. So one of the first changes I had to make is about my routine, right? So as a single software engineer or as a software engineer that is single, right, I have like luxury of time. I My routine usually is I work like round the clock. When I'm not like outside, if I'm at home, trust me, I'm working. And for those that really know me, most times even when I'm outside, I go out with my laptop and I still get to work. At times, even when I'm not with my laptop, I'm thinking about work. So that is one thing I've had to change, right? Because like as a married man, you can't just be thinking about just yourself anymore, right? It's not just me anymore. Now I have someone else that I have to think about. I have someone else that needs my attention. And also because as a software engineer working remotely, like time is pretty flexible. There's no strict 9 to 5, right? You can decide to work at night, and that's what I do most times. I go out during the day, just attend meetings, and then focus on working in the night. This had to stop. I had to stop this once I got married. So I had to like stick to a particular schedule so that at least my time is predictable and my wife can plan around that. So the second thing I had to make changes to was how I split my work and my life balance. As far as I'm concerned, when we say work-life balance, I believe it doesn't have to be 50-50, right? And honestly, when I was still single, it was more like 80-20 for me. Like my work was like 80% and my life, which was not really much then, was like 20%. That needed to change also once I got married, because now there's someone else that needs my attention. There's someone else that I care about, not just my job. Yes, I care about my job, but I don't care about my job as much as I care about my wife. So family comes first for me. So I had to reduce how much time I spend working. And what that meant was that I had to put a strict boundary between my work and my life. If I decide to work 9 to 5 in the morning, it has to be 9 to 5. And by 5 o'clock, I have to close my laptop, and then it's family time from there. So the third thing I'm going to share, which is like the last thing I'm going to share here, I don't really have like a lot written down really, is about how we share responsibility, right? When I was single, I pretty much did every single thing by myself, which was, I mean, it wasn't much then, right? But now as a married man, right? I like the sound of that, married man. Now, as a married man, we have to figure out how to share responsibility, how to split the tasks and support each other. Because the thing about it is, my wife is a pharmacist and she's also a fashion designer. So at times she's on call. At times she has a customers or a client's dress to deliver, and she's unable to do certain things in the house. In those cases, what I do mostly is cut the time I spend working just to be able to help her out with some of the things she's supposed to do at home. And I think this also depends on the expectations that have been set, right? Because before marriage or going into marriage, my wife had like a particular expectation or a particular reality of what she thought she was supposed to do in marriage. Oh, she's supposed to do this, she's supposed to do that. But then she got into marriage, and maybe because at times she has to go to work and it can be overwhelming at times, maybe she doesn't now get to do some of those things. She feels bad. There was a time I called and I told her that, see, these things I don't really care, right? If you don't have time to do this, I can do them. And if I don't have time, we'll get someone else to do it. It's not a big deal. So there are times that we have to compromise on who does what. So now let's get to the challenges that I faced, or maybe we faced now, or we are still facing. Number one would be time management. Remember, I mentioned that I had to, or we had to like make changes in terms of work priorities. We had to make changes in terms of how much time we give to work. Now, what that means in my own situation is that it might be tricky to balance work deadlines with personal commitment. So I am committed to my wife, but I also have a commitment at work. And there are times that, okay, because I want to do right by my wife, I have to cut the time I spend at work. And that might eventually affect my performance, or I might end up not meeting the deadline of the project I'm working on. So that's one thing that has been quite tricky. And one way that I have been able to go around this is, so like I said, my wife is a pharmacist, and from time to time she goes on night shifts. So what I do is, most times when she goes on night shifts, while she's working overnight at our workplace, I'm also working overnight. So the second challenge is personal space. I mean, creating personal space for yourself. So for me as a software engineer working from home, I often need like uninterrupted like blocks of time to be able to get stuff done, right? And initially when we got married, my wife would always like come around and disturb me, right? But I found that I needed to communicate to her. So at times I just tell her that for the next 2 hours I need to really work on this project, and she's very, very understanding. As long as there is clear communication, as long as I communicate to her that I need this, and she communicates to me that this is what she needs, we both respect each other, and we also respect the request that we make of each other. So it makes this whole personal space slash share space thing quite easy to work around. So the third challenge I have faced as a married tech guy is spending quality time with my wife. So as a software engineer that works remotely, I work most of the time, right? And she also has a work that she does. So what that means is that at times it can be tricky to get some quality time in between the business of work every day. So what I do is I just try to figure out the little chunks of time that I can just take advantage of. For instance, at times when she's going to work, I offer to go drop her at work, and we spend time together during that journey. And other times I close work early just so that I can go pick her up from work. So yes, we find ways to spend quality time together. We go on dates, we watch movies together, we read books together, we cook together. I mean, as much as possible. There are times that I will carry my laptop to the kitchen, sit down there while she's cooking. If I need to cut something, I'll cut something and get back to my system, right? There are multiple times that I'm in the kitchen with her. Meanwhile, I'm just working. At times, what she needs is just my presence in the kitchen, honestly. And at times, I offer to cook. There are times that my babe will be so tired. I know that she will be tired from work. So at times, before she gets back home, I close early and I just try to make something for her before she gets back home. And I mean, I can't cook anything complex, but the little and the simple thing I cook, right, it goes a long way. And I see that she really, really appreciates it. Even if it's Gary, honestly, it's the thought that matters. Trust me. So, in conclusion, let me share some of the takeaways from the things I have shared so far. Number one, communicate clearly and openly. That's one of the things that has helped me so far and that has helped us so far. Communication, making sure that we don't leave anything to chance, we don't leave anything for assumption. Then number two, set boundaries, right? When it comes to work, right, set boundaries. If you are working 9 to 5, I make sure that okay, it is 9 to 5. You see, I'm trying as much as possible not to make it seem as if I'm giving out advices because I don't think I have enough experience to be advising anyone. So I'm just sharing my own experience. So, like I said, setting boundaries is one of the things that has really, really helped us, right? Letting work time be work time and family time be family time. Then number three is plan together. I mean, I love this planning part because at times on Saturday or on Sunday, we get to sit down and say that, okay, what does this new week look like for you? And we get to share that. So I know beforehand if this new week is going to be stressful for her or not. That would even actually help me plan some things to help her with the stress for that new week. And the same thing happens when I share what I have to get done in the new week with her. So planning together has really, really helped us. And the last one is prioritizing quality time. This one, I can't emphasize it enough, honestly. And big thanks to the Holy Spirit, big thanks to God for helping me, honestly. Because, see, I don't think there was a day I told my wife that, see, me by myself, I don't think I'm going to be a good husband, right? Without the help of God, without the help of the Holy Spirit. There are times that I forget things because in my head, what I'm thinking is not the house. What I'm thinking is work. Oh, I have to solve this problem. And in the heap of the thought of work, the Holy Spirit finds ways to nudge me to do things that would have huge impact on my marriage. So that will be all I'll be sharing in this video. The things I shared in this video are my own experience. This is not to set any standard for anybody. This is not to advise anybody. Honestly, if you see anything that is worth emulating from what I have shared, yes, you can learn from it and maybe incorporate it into your own relationship. But I am not a relationship advisor. I'm not a relationship counselor. I'm just here to share my own experience. Please feel free to share your own experience in the comment section and also feel free to share tips in the comment section to whoever might be interested. Thank you so much for sticking around till now. I hope it was valuable for your time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, keep believing, keep growing, and keep glowing. Peace.